It is our pleasure to introduce the 2021 Lifeline, The Ultimate Bond featured artists. Their encouraging depictions of survival give life to this exhibition through powerful multimedia presentations. Here, we have Brad Bernard and his acrylic and mixed media painting titled Redlined Donor. This is Rosy Petri and 3 of her fabric and stitch pieces from her series Thoughts and Prayers. Here we have Kierston Ghaznavi and her piece made of marker and pen on cardstock titled A Gift Eternal. This is Jerry Jordan and his oil on canvas painting titled Sharing Hope. Here we have Sherman Pitts and his digital work titled What a Miracle. This is Allison Ssali and her acrylic on canvas painting titled Per Connexionum Epidermis, or Connection via Epidermis. Here we have Allison Westbrook and his digital piece, Exchange. And finally, all of the photography and videography that you see throughout the exhibition and online is the work of the talented Mr. Terrance.
Brother of Omega Sci-Fi Fraternity Incorporated. And so when I found out about this, I thought it would be a great opportunity to help bring awareness to my community, the African-American community, for the need for organ and tissue donation. So I just thought it would be just a great opportunity. I would say being a brother in Omega Sci-Fi has been probably one of the best experiences of my life. Next to having children and getting married and stuff like that, it's just been a huge experience for me. I pledged a long time ago, back in 1987, when I was 20 years old. And so it's been a part of my life ever since. Once you graduate from college, it doesn't end. So a lot of frats, once you finish school, that bond dissolves and stuff. It's something you did in college. Whereas with my organization and most of the members of the other Divine Nine organizations, once you graduate, it's really just beginning, because you become part of the graduate chapters and you get involved you're more involved with the community. I didn't really know anything about organ donation, just lay it out. I didn't know a thing about it. And so I was doing some research and I learned a great deal. And, I learned about how there are so many African Americans who are waiting for a kidney transplant. And it's just a huge number. And so that's why I just kind of bring awareness to kidneys. And that's why I chose it. I will say the model for it is my daughter, Matea, who just turned 17. And it was kind of difficult to get her to pose. It always is. It kind of reminded me kind of more like a classical pose, which kind of made me think of like the mythical gods, which led me down the line of African mythology. And so there's a goddess, Ocean, I think that's how it's pronounced. And she is the goddess of life. And so it seemed to work perfectly with organ donation, giving the gift of hope, life. So that's the thinking behind it.
Though this exhibition came to fruition under the cloud of COVID, we were really committed to focusing on the future of this traveling show and the powerful impact that it could have in the Milwaukee community. We kept coming back to the mission and the themes of the exhibition, that of connection and bonding. And we wanted to find ways to replicate them within not just the physical space of the show, but also with one another. When we engage with one another and interact with physical objects, we begin to understand these things on a more cognitive level. We start to really relate and connect, and that's a space where true understanding and growth can begin. Because this exhibition is launching virtually at America's Black Holocaust Museum, Our first step towards ensuring this experience was for the exhibition to be scanned with a 360-degree camera and then uploaded digitally, providing a virtually interactive experience. With this platform, we were able to embed links for the visitors to click around and explore. You'll find video links to interviews with the Divine Nine members, telling their transplant stories, and links to recordings of some of the artists talking about their inspirations behind their work, and also a link to an interactive map of Wisconsin developed by Mapbox, where visitors have the ability to click through by county and easily visualize the staggering numbers of Wisconsin residents on the transplant waiting list. This interactive map is powered by data from the United Network for Organ Sharing, a federally monitored nonprofit that manages the U.S. organ transplantation system. As you navigate through the exhibition, you'll also find QR codes on many of the walls, offering even more information from Versiti on those organs and historical data with connections to the Black community. And finally, we've designed a place on our microsite for visitors to share their own transplant stories and thoughts on the exhibition, offering an opportunity for this exhibition to continue to grow and evolve and connect our community members with one another. As we were planning for installation and layout, we were really trying to think creatively for ways to provide our visitors with meaningful physical experiences. In the end, we finalized on the design and installation of 3 main interactive pieces: the medicine cabinet, the digital map, and the myth versus fact board. The medicine cabinet helps to tell the story of what happens after your neighbor, friend, or family member receives a transplant. While they receive a second chance at life, they also inherit a daily routine of taking a battery of medication to keep their immune system from rejecting the transplanted organ. However, as the visitor walks up to the cabinet, it is their own reflection in the mirror that they see, leaving them to question their own potential future connections to organ transplantation. Our myth versus fact board is really one of my favorite pieces in the show, and it's meant to be a conduit for interactive communication, allowing for a two-way flow of information. We hope that it will encourage inquisitive minds and inspire truthful conversations that meet people where they are in their knowledge about organ donation. And finally, our digital map, as I mentioned earlier, offers a way for visitors to visualize the real urgency and need for organ donations right here in Wisconsin. So we hope that you will click through the show virtually, learn about the science and history of organ donation, hear real stories of organ transplant survivors, and share your own stories. But ultimately, we hope that you will consider signing up to be an organ donor yourself. It really is one of the most powerful things you can do for someone.